I just want to begin by simply giving you a platform to explain to the audience what's the difference between you and incumbent Ed Gainey. What do you bring to the table? Go ahead and good morning.
No, thanks for having me, Rob, and happy St. Valentine's Day to everybody else out there as well. No, what's the difference? I mean, I think right now we are seeing a city that is managing a decline instead of talking about growth and opportunities all around us. And I think for me, I bring 11 years experience on city council, the last 3 years being the county controller, ready for this job on day one, knowing that we should be investing in our public works vehicles, in our ambulances that are breaking down to and from calls, investing in a future of Pittsburgh, investing in new housing, affordable and market rate, having shovel-ready sites so that when people are coming to Pittsburgh and companies and businesses want to locate here, we can point to locations. Right now, you can't do that. There's no plan or vision for a growth. And when you start growing Pittsburgh, everybody has opportunities here. And that's the type of momentum that we're seeing when we host coffees, when we're going door to door, when we're talking to people. They love this city. And they just don't feel that it's going in the right direction right now. And that's where I believe I have the ability to step in, turn us around, and get back on a path where everybody who lives in Pittsburgh has an opportunity to grow, create their own wealth, create their own opportunities, something we don't talk enough about, create our own home ownership programs in this city. More people need to own their own homes and creating wealth in neighborhoods that haven't seen that before. So I think – and I could go on and on, Rob. So
no, that's good. No, that's good. That's good.
But I just think there's a passion here that, like Pittsburgh, we know what we can be, and we deserve better than what we're getting right now.
All right, listen, there's a lot of great comparisons between you and your dad, and I just want to share one. Your dad always was promoting Pittsburgh. No matter where I saw him, whether it was in the city or not, corporations just wanted to be a part of what he was all about. How do you sell Pittsburgh to get some of those corporate dollars back in our community?
Well, I mean, you sell Pittsburgh. So to me, I look at it as it's a place where, everybody should have an opportunity and everybody can have an opportunity with the right vision. But also our first initiative we launched in this campaign was basically around families, youth, growing our region. If you're looking and you're a company, a startup that's here right now, that's, maybe a spinoff from CMU and, you're getting offers from California and, the Carolinas right now and Florida, why can't we not sell you on Pittsburgh? And it's because we're not catering to growing families, to having people invest long-term here, to creating more and more jobs. And we have the ability to do it. Mm-hmm. You see all of the vacant storefronts, all of the vacant buildings downtown. We have opportunity to fill that space, but you have to be aggressive in promoting our city. To me, having a 3- and 1-year-old, I want every family to choose Pittsburgh first. That means looking at our rec centers in a different way, looking at having open gyms on Saturdays again like we used to, looking at a rec center that should be open from 7 to 9 a.m. in the morning because, a lot of the times now parents work 2 jobs and they're dropping their kids off. Why not the city take an initiative and open it up so that kids can recreate before school and after school more? We're not doing those things that make communities better. And you look at small business districts. Let's start investing back in our main streets because we know main streets are the heart and the downtown of every neighborhood. And that's what you have to get back to, the grassroots of building neighborhoods and building wealth in those communities.
All right, I got literally about a minute and a half, but I got to get this in here real quick. I'm a big fan of the Pittsburgh Public Schools. Obviously, the news, the judge throws out the assessment case. We got to help these Pittsburgh Public Schools. What's your thought on making it work for that very important entity in our community? Go ahead.
Well, again, that's why, if you look at it, there's really a lack of partnership right now. And that's why I'm talking about coordinating efforts before, after school, weekends. We have so many great youth organizations. We have so many great young coaches that work with kids of all ages. And, why are we not partnering with the schools so that they have, I'll just use an example. There's a swimming pool at a public school. Why are we not using that on a Saturday to teach kids how to swim? Why are we not doing those types of partnership? Those are empty, vacant spaces that could be used for our kids and our coaches to go and help teach kids. Bring them together. Use the facilities of the public schools in a better light because there's no coordination right now, and that's really where you have to turn the corner. And we do know the schools are looking at possibly closing 12 new buildings. So for me, forward thinking is if I'm elected mayor, what do you do with those 12 buildings? How are we going to use those to better the entire community, whichever those schools may be? But that's not what's going on right now, and that's why we keep losing population. And we are an affordable city for young parents to live here. So how do we entice them to stay? And that's got to be the goal over the next couple of years.
Good stuff. Keep up the good work. Always appreciate spending time with you, okay?
All right, Rob. Take care. Thank you.
All right, there he goes, Corey O'Connor. Man on a mission, 1025. And I got to tell you, before we get to the news update at the bottom of the hour, I just want to share a couple of thoughts about Corey real quick. You know, I see a lot of similarities in his father, and I was very close with his dad. Matter of fact, the last interview that his father gave before his untimely passing was with me on the radio, actually from his hospital bed. And I remember holding back the tears and thinking the vision that this man had for the city, and one of the things that he really wanted to do, he wanted to have some sort of light rail service from Oakland to be able to bring some of that incredible amount of population that is always in that hustling and bustling location that's Oakland into the city on a regular basis. And if they wanted to go back to Oakland, so be it, or back and forth, meaning live in the city and work in Oakland. And I'm ironic. I just think of him all the time. And I was in Oakland here not too long ago, and I was just at a red light, and I was looking around and seeing all the people moving around. And I went, you know, Bob O'Connor was right. You have to be able to connect that part of this region to the heartbeat of this region, which is the city. And when I hear Corey talk, obviously younger version, but I see and feel that same passion of a young man that's got the vision. And sometimes things, sadly, you know, don't go our way, but maybe now there could be an opportunity for this region to have Bob O'Connor finish the job through the eyes of his son. So I don't know. I don't have a stake in the game. I don't have a vote, but I love Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has been a part of my life for 40 years, pretty much every day. And as Pittsburgh goes, we all go. And I know we can't go back to the way it once was, but why can't we at least make it better than it is? And I think this Pittsburgh public school situation that I've been talking about for the longest time, you just can't keep closing books and closing buildings and expect it to go away. There are a lot of people depending on those schools. And the only way that that stuff gets better is by, as Corey was talking about, finding solutions and finding ways and utilizing some of these buildings to help you along the way as opposed to just letting them sit and rot. So, good interview with Corey, and he is a man of vision, and he does remind me a lot of his father, and that's a good thing. All right, we'll take a break. Some headlines coming up, then we'll get to your calls next. It's your Pratte Pack today from Marty Griffin on KDK on this Valentine's Day.